Hey everyone, and welcome back to Good Knit Kisses. I'm your host Kristen, and today we're working on a hexagon loom. This produces a woven hexagon. This is made by Kiss Looms. I'm not sure if it's backward on your camera or not, but it's Kiss Looms. They have multiple sizes of hexagons. You can use this same technique for any hexagon loom. This is one where you weave in a continuous strand method the entire way through. There is no bind off for this, and in fact there are no knots. So if you start with a slip knot, you can actually pull that slip knot out once you complete it, and you just have two tails to weave in when you're done. So no binding off like you do, like say if you're used to making a pot holder, you know, a pot holder loom, you have to sort of do a crochet around the side, just slipping the stitches along. You don't have to do that on this one. If you've seen any weaving stuff on our channel before, we've done the small triangle looms, and we have a large big triangle loom that I've shown weaving on before, and now I'm going to show you the hexagon. So I'm so glad that you're here. I'm going to show you a couple of samples before we get started. This is the kind of thing you can do. You can put together multiple hexagons into different patterns. You can do solid, you can tweed them. These are working with 2 strands of yarn, and I even did one to show like, hey, you could make it into a pocket, or you could start sewing this together for a little bag or purse. So you can mix and match. I will show some mixing matching at the end of the video, but I want to dive straight into the tutorial because I'm going to do this whole thing live on camera. It's probably going to take me about an hour. So anyway, I hope you're doing well. Hopefully if our broadcast gets interrupted, I'll just kind of pause for a second. Sometimes if I get a phone call, it'll stop for a second, and then just bear with me. And if we have any interruptions, it'll end up being on the replay, one long thing, so I'll try not to explain why anything stopped. I hope you have a great day, and we will see you at the end of it. I'm going to flip the camera now and get started on showing you the yarn that I'm using today, and then we'll just jump right in. Okay, all right, let's do this thing. Okay, all right, so I'm going to set these aside, but those were my samples that you just saw. And here's some other examples of hexagons, and we will set these aside. And I'm just going to work with 1 strand, but you can do 2 strands together. And the yarn I'm using today is Yarnspirations Caron Simply Soft. This is a medium 4 weight yarn, or worsted weight yarn. This is kind of a regular or lightweight 4. Now I did use 2 of the little crafties yarn from Yarnspirations to make these, and I also used 2 strands of the Caron Simply Soft to make this one. It makes it a bit thicker, but if you do use the little crafties, you can use 1 or 2. It's going to look really nice with 2, and they're slightly lighter or thinner than these, even though they are listed also as a number 4. You can get about 4 hexagons out of 1 ball, whether you're doing 2 strands together or 1 strand together. So 1 color can get you about 4 balls, or 4 hexagons. All right, let's dive right in. We're going to do a solid yellow today. Continuous strand method just continues to pull in 1 direction. I have the comb that comes with the loom, and I have a crochet hook, and then you might want to have a tapestry needle for the last part, because things are a little bit harder across the last line that we do, and you might want that. Okay. I'm going to put my little logo in front of me, Kiss Looms, and I'm going to start in this upper corner up here. And if you are left-handed or right-handed, you can do whichever side works for you. I'm going to start here, place my slip knot, and you can use tails for weaving in later, so you can choose to make your tail just a normal one, which will sew into the side of your shortest one, and then you can make your ending tail really long to go all the way around it if you want to choose to weave it in. So those are just options for your tail for beginning length if you're curious. All right, start with a slip knot, And the fun thing about the slip knot is if you actually leave it long, it's going to get pulled out. So you don't have to worry about making it really tight on this nail here. In fact, it makes it a little harder to get off. So I've just discovered I just leave it loose enough, and then I begin. So I'm here and I'm going to come straight down to here. Okay, and I'm going to hold it with my finger, my thumb, and come up to the top and grab that nail up there and come down and grab this nail here. And so I'm just going to go back and forth from the top to the bottom, and these nails have a small little nail head on them, but I definitely like to guide it with my finger. And you want to make sure that you don't catch the side and split the plies, especially on this first go round. So that's why I'm keeping my thumb down here. Okay, so we're going to finish it off and take this and turn it around, and I'm just holding on it, pulling it taut. Okay, so it's upside down now, and this is the way we're going to begin our weaving. And I'm going to be pulling my yarn across here and weaving through here, grabbing my crochet hook. Now, once I pull this through, it actually kind of spins around and makes a little knot right here, and I don't like how that comes off in the end, so I actually end up weaving it in a different direction. I just kind of go around this way and come down, and then I don't have to fight getting that off of the nail in the end. So I'm going to pull on this, pull down, and hold on it like this, and go ahead and work with my hook, and we're just going to go into every other one. So we always start in the same way. We're going to go over this first strand and under the next one. Okay, so over and under all the way through. Now, if you have a hard time doing that and getting all the way across, you can start halfway down here like this, and the first string, just pick a nail and just go over this nail here and under, and you're just gonna go all the way through until the end and grab my strand and hook it and pull through. Okay, and now I'm just going to hold on to this part, and I actually like to go down here and hook it on here a little bit. It kind of guides me because it's going to go around that peg later on. All right, so now here I go, over, under, and it'll be the same every time we come back to the weaving area. It's always the same pattern of over, under. So now that I'm here, I'm just going to hook it and turn my hook sideways so I don't catch all that yarn, and pull it on through, and then I'm going to place it on my nail. Okay, and then now I'm going to take this strand here and hook it and drag it down, and we're going to go down to this nail here. So we're going to go up along the side. So right now we're doing the side edges of the hexagon. So we did this first outside one, and now we're going to go down here to this outside one here. And now we're stretching it across, and I've already had this thread here, and I just simply pull it. Okay, and it's around that next nail head on this angle, and we're going to go straight up. So I'm going to go around here and go straight up to this first peg on this edge here. Okay, and I'm going to hook it around and pull tight, and I'm just going to keep holding and pulling tight, set down my hook, pick up my comb, and push all the way up with my comb. You can even kind of slam it back and forth. When they get a little shorter, as you get more and more yarn, you can just kind of put it in and go boop, 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 like that. Okay, so now I pushed it all the way up, and I can begin again. This is just a repeated method all the way across, and you're going to continue picking up one of these nail heads as you go, and as you come all the way down to here, all the other ones are going to fill up, and then in the end you'll have just a few of them left here, and it will be a little tighter. Okay, so if you like to fast forward later on when this is not live, you can fast forward to that part, but I'm going to continue going and not talk as much. We're going to go over, under, and continue going all the way down. If you have a Tunisian hook that's maybe has a little thinner shaft on it and it's a little bit longer handle, it might be easier for you than one of these because this crochet hook can get a little short. I want to show you how it can kind of look a little short here. Okay. See, by the time I get down here, my hand is kind of in it. And then we pull across, and then we place it either with the hook or with our finger. I'm going to hook it on, and then I'm going to pull this down and come down here and hook it, and then come down here and hook it, and then I can just pull it. Okay, turn and pull it up. See how it's on this third one over here? So we had our beginning one, and then we have this first one up the side, and then this second one here. So we got, it looks like 3 on this edge. Pull up, come to here, pull down, and go ahead and straighten this out. You're gonna push up and push down here. And you want this to go straight across, okay, from nail to nail. If you don't push back far enough, then these will get crowded too far in by the time you get here, and you want them to be more consistent. So let's show going through halfway so we don't stick our whole hook through this entire thing, because by the time we get down here, we're gonna run out of room. So we just start in a spot where we wanna go opposite. So this yarn was underneath here, so we're gonna go on top now and under. So over, under, keep going. And then grab this one and pull it through. And I like to go ahead and come down here and put it around that nail that it's going to go on later on. And do that again. Over, under. Grab it. And place it. Place it down here. Pull on it. Comb it. And do it again. If you work with 2 strands of yarn, you will probably go slower. You'll want to go slower so that you pick up both strands, especially if you're working with two different colors. When I have this on my lap, I tend to kind of move move these strands back and forth. I don't always do this on a table. Sometimes I'm pushing from the back. And the part that I just fixed was because of that beginning strand, and it had a little bit extra room, so I just used my comb to kind of place it. I know that some of y'all were probably frustrated because it had too wide of a spacing, so I just took my comb and adjusted it. You can use this comb to adjust where it is and get those grids even. Now, when it comes off of the loom, it's going to ease that tension up and draw in, so the spacings will not be as much as they are on the loom where they're all stretched out. It will shrink up a little bit. Not a lot, but it will. There are a lot of things that you can make. You can make scarves and cowls and purses and bags and blankets. And I've got a few in mind that we'll be showing on Good Knit Kisses. All right, so I've got to fix one. I'm going to show you the mistake. So you come along here and you're about to do another one, but you realize, oh no, I have two over here. I don't know if you can see that, but I have two over on this part. So before I go any further, I'm going to take it off, and I can go back to that line right here. Okay, and then solve my issue. Okay, I like to show a mistake on here because it's easier if you know how to fix it. That's the quick way to do it. So you want to kind of inspect, just eyeball your rows real quick and make sure that you're not doing that, because once it comes off the loom, you're not really able to fix it. Okay, place it. Make sure you're only going around one of the nails. Come around. All right, so this is where you want to make sure you're still really combing them up, getting them lined up with your nail head, because you're going to need that room when it comes to the middle. Okay, so if you haven't gotten them far enough up, you can go ahead and comb the rest of those, and then we'll gently move for you. I'm gonna move that tail. It's probably in the way. That's that beginning tail down here. You can pull from the right like I am. If you're right-handed, you can pull from the left. If you're left-handed, you just continue going in the same pattern. Comb it. Always pull your hook head to the side so you're not catching on the yarn. You're not catching the other yarn as you come through, right? You turn it, make that teardrop sideways, place it. Place this one, and then pull, come up. Okay, as I'm getting down here, it's getting tighter in this space to be able to get that first loop through. It's also harder to do longer strands or longer lengths to pull through, so you can just do a few at a time. You can even do one at a time if you need to. If I just wanted to come up through one and pull one at a time, I can do that. Especially when you have two strands together that you're doing at the same time, you may end up having to do it that way, where you're just like, oh, I'm just gonna pull through one at a time and make sure that I've got everything, you know, fully in there. So now I'm at the last one down here. Okay, and we're gonna place it. And now I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 5 of them here. So that's gonna be 1, 2, 3 rounds of it. We're gonna keep going. Pull tight. Get that comb in there. All right, that's important. I'm just gonna do a couple at the end here. Just go 1, 2, and then pull through. Get myself a nice strand to work with, and then do a few at a time. Go, let's place it, and now we have 3 pegs left on this end, and now 3 pegs on this end. Be sure comb that. Okay. Going through a couple here, see how it's nice and tight. I'm going to pull down to the very end here, push this one, go ahead and grab that yarn, pull sideways. Now as it gets tighter, you might find that you're catching on these nails. You want to, before you pull, you want to check that you're not going to rip and split your plies. I've done that a few times, and that's not fun because you don't want to waste your yarn. You can enjoy zipping along on here, but you want to be sure towards the end especially that you're not pulling on those. Also, when you get in the middle here and they're really close together, this could get twisted up, so you may want to untwist it before you pull through more. I found that to be more of a problem when I was doing 2 strands, 2 colors. So see, this one got caught. Pull that. I've even combed them halfway through just to get it a little more separated. These are just extra tips. Take them or leave them. They may not apply to you. They may not be helpful, or they may really be helpful. You know me, I'm always giving you extra tips to make it easier on you, hopefully. Okay, just a couple left. All right, what do we do when we come down to the end? So we've got these 2 strands here. Okay, one pin or one nail head here. I'm gonna insert my hook in, pull it down, place it on here, and now we only have 1 left on this side. We want to go ahead and pull through, wrap around, and complete that. Okay, so we've completed that circuit there, that loop. Go ahead and comb it. Now we actually have to go through 2 more times. So we're going to be coming down here, and we're going to come around this peg, or this nail head here, come back around and around here, but then we have to come through 1 more time with a single strand. So this is the last time we're doing 2 loops at the same time. So it's really tight. I usually just go down one of these and just pull through this last one, okay? And then start doing them individual. All right, so this one I split, so just so you see that. See, I kind of split that. So let's come back in here and make sure that we're getting the whole thing. We don't want to ruin our yarn. I'm going to undo it and come out here, turn it sideways, and pull through. Okay. Once you get past the edges, it's a little bit easier to do. Okay, and see how it can get twisted? I just untwist it like that before I move on. It's easier to do it now than later when you're further down. Okay, so you may have seen me twisting slightly. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab this one and pull through. And now that it's really tight, a lot of times what I do is I turn it sideways and pull down through here, and I twist it downward. And then after I get here, I pull up, and then I go down, and I'm kind of getting over those little humps there and getting it all the way through. This is just so tight. Let's see if I can get it to where you see this. Do one at a time. one more. Okay, and then we're going to place it on our very last nail head there. And I'm going to pull through like that. We definitely need to separate this because we need one more strand. If you notice, we have two under really close together this whole way, or two over, either way, and they need something to separate them and finish it off. So we make one more line. This is where you're going to decide if you want a shorter tail or if you need a really long tail for connecting to others, and you can you know, make it, you know, you can be safe and have enough. You want to have 3 times the perimeter, or maybe less one section. So if you have your short tail, this one here, to do one section, and then this part you need to measure around here for weaving, and then you want to do about 3 times that. So whatever you need for weaving in, you're going to take that and then cut it. Okay, and then this part's going to weave through and get pulled all the way through. You can use your hook or your tapestry needle. I'm going to use my hook. I'm going to go around this last pin here, or nail, and come through. And let's just go over this one here and under this very last one. Okay, I'm going to go through here. Now, depending upon your hook, it might be a little hard. But I'm just going to come underneath it like this and wrap around. So I came under and wrapped around, and then I'm going to take it and turn the head down and pull up and come through that little box here. Okay, and then just pull all the way through. All right, and I'm going to do one more like that. Wrapping it, turning it under, and pull through. And you can do a few at a time. And if you're doing 2 colors like this one, if you're doing 2 strands together as one, you're probably going to need the tapestry needle to finish this out. Okay, so I'm going to pull through a few more, and I'll show you at the end how to use the tapestry needle. And it's a bit like sewing. Okay, here's my problem. So in the end, I accidentally started splitting my plies, and I just wanted you to see that. So let's go ahead and undo that before I make it worse. So you have to be careful of those nails. You can see I'm really pushing downward because it's so tight. I'm just pushing on that one and pulling up here. Okay, let's do the last few with the tapestry needle. Just gonna thread that. And you're just gonna go over and under, like you're doing, you know, regular sewing and embroidery with a hoop. Now it's going to have a different tension than when you are using the hook, so you want to pull it nice and taut before you pull this off of the loom. You want to kind of match your tension. So when I come up on this next one, I'm gonna pull it tight. So I'm just gonna take it and pull it tight as I had been doing. And let's see, I think I missed one. Yep. I messed that one up. It's quite different doing this through a camera, and I'm like trying to look through the camera and the side of the camera for a second. Sorry. Okay, here we go. I'm glad I spotted my mistake. Okay, now it looks like it's my last one, but I want you to see it's not. So I have this one to go over, and then I have to come back through, and I have to go under this very last one, which is a little hard to see. I'm gonna go through here, and then go ahead and pull it tight, and then we're gonna go through this one. So let me see if I can get that better on camera. Do you see this little part here? I'm gonna go underneath this loop on this last nail, and then that little thread there in that little hole. Okay, and then we're done on that. So now we're just going to take it off of the needle and start taking this completely off of the loom. You don't have to do any bind off. I'm going to start with I can start with this side here where I just finished and grab it, and I just pull outward on that last nail head. I just put my comb in and pull around that nail head. Make sure you're not gonna catch half of your ply of your strand as you come off. I'm going towards where my slip knot was. You could start at your slip knot if you like. If your slip knot got a little tight, then you might have to take it carefully off of the loom. Mine ended up getting a little tighter than I normally do. I just kind of mess with it a little bit to get it loosened. Okay, just pull that off. I'm not going to worry about undoing the slip knot just yet. And then come through and pull these off. Once I get a couple of the edges off, it can start coming off pretty easy. So I've got 2 of them off. Let's see if these start coming off. When I pull them, I kind of pull towards the nail head and gently lift off. Oh, look at this. It's coming off real easy. Oh, this is great. So let's find that slip knot. See, there's that knot, and we can just pull on it gently. And now you have no knots, and you can pull on the corners, just, you know, opposite corners. These 2 corners are going to be stiff, but these other ones you can see have some flexibility to them. And I just kind of sort of block them a little bit like that. So you would weave in your tail. You can kind of do a whip stitch around the edge, or you can weave it on the inside here. I would try and just concentrate on the edge instead of in the middle, because you're going to see that tail. And then if you were sewing them together like this, you can do a whip stitch and a contrasting yarn to get them together. This is the opposite side of where I did that whip stitch, and then you can see I just used a gray here. You can make it in a contrasting color to make it really stand out, or try and just match that color. You can do a fun design alternating the colors of yours, and obviously make them and sew them into little pockets or whatnot. These right here, I just want to show you some of the samples that I had. So I hope that that video helped you. I'm going to show you a couple of ideas that you can do. So we have our hexagon here, our 2-color strand, And let's do this one here. So we have that, like that. And then we can do that. And that. Like that. So you can do like a fun little design like that and just keep going and have your other color over here. So that would be really fun. If you want to make a fun little scarf, you could even do something like this and fold them. Okay, so here's your little scarf. You could fold these up, okay, and then maybe alternate on the other side, like that. You could connect them and make a cowl or an infinity scarf. Another fun way to do it would be to, let's see, like this. Here's another one. So where you have 2 blocks of color like this, and then you would repeat and do 2 grays up here, or you could do it like this, where like all the yellows are on one side and all the grays are lined up on this side. Kind of fun. Here, see it from the side like that. So there are all kinds of fun ways to do it. This will get you a nice, fun, asymmetrical sort of look. It's, you know, anyway, it's just fun. Whatever you want to do, just enjoy. Do 2 color, 3 color, 1 color, whatever you like. I hope that you enjoyed learning how to weave on your Hexagon loom. And thank you so much for joining me at Good Knit Kisses. Have a great day. Happy knitting and crochet and weaving. Bye, everyone.